Hi Barbara, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
Great. How do you feel here in New York in this beautiful
I
weather?
feel wonderful. I love New York in any weather.
Yes,
Yeah, I'll
yes.
take it anyway.
And speaking of New York, I want to go back to the early stage of your career because I know you're a New Yorker. Tell us more about
Right.
it.
Well, I'm actually from Rochester, but
Okay.
my dad lived in New York. He was a
Okay.
teacher at Columbia. So I have kind of New York roots, I feel. I've been coming here since I was about 18.
Wow.
Came with my girlfriends, and I always considered New York to be sort of like Oz, in the Wizard of Oz, the fabulous place where anything is possible.
Yes.
And I think it's true.
Yes.
It always is that way. So exciting.
Yes. Yes.
So, my favorite city in the whole world.
I know. Mine too. Mine
Is
too.
it?
Yeah.
Yep.
And well, you were in the fashion industry initially.
Yes, yes. I was a fashion illustrator for about 30 years, a little over that actually. And I worked for different department stores. The last one was Lord & Taylor here in New York. And, I really enjoyed that. I love fashion and I love art, so I could sort of combine the two. And I think my love of art is maybe neck and neck with the fashion because I try to incorporate that in my painting, whenever I do it. I'm
Yes.
inspired by
Yes.
fashion and fabric and posing and drama and all that stuff.
Wow. Tell us a little bit about the creative process for your paintings. These are amazing, by the way.
You.
Yeah.
Thank you. Sometimes I'll see something that will sort of inspire me to do a particular painting. In this one, I saw this gown in a store and I thought, it reminded me sort of whipped cream. It was all satin and it had all this beading, and I thought that would make a great painting, but I see it spread out rather than standing. So I had a friend who I thought would be a great model, and I've been incorporating animals who I think are just innately fashionable on their own with their
Yes.
fur.
Yes.
They all wear their costumes. So that's sort of the inspiration behind that. And I kind of thought the way I had her seated reminded me of a lily pad. So that's how I got the name of the painting.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of the inspiration behind that one. And that's sort of the way I work. I'll get an idea and it will start germinating, and I kind of put it together in my head first before I actually do any sketching. I do very rough sketching. I don't do a lot of preliminary work, but I try to get a basic idea of where I'll have my figure or whatever, whatever the elements are, and then I kind of go from there.
So all this is creation is pretty much spontaneous.
Pretty much. I did photograph her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't always, but in this case I had her get in that position, and she sent me some photos of her dog. I'd never actually met her dog, never saw him in person.
Oh, really?
So I kind of faked it. I wanted him to sort of follow the curve of the fabric. And I just, I had this idea of like whipped cream. So anyway.
It is a great composition.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And all these colors is this the colors that you're looking at when you're painting, when you're models, or you also create, this comes from your imagination?
This is sort of, in this one, the colors are pretty similar in the gown as the actual gown was. Now, this was a dress that did not have this on it. It didn't have the ruching, it didn't have the train.
Oh.
I added that for the design of the painting. And this particular model happens to be my daughter's best friend.
Okay.
And
she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's a great girl, and she's very into training animals. She's sort of a horse whisperer, and this is her dog. So I thought I'd put her in a totally different environment than she normally is, because she's usually hard at work and she's not dressed up. So I thought, you know what, I think it would be great just to put her in something totally different and add the gloves. And I discovered this paint that's sort of phosphorescent in a way.
Yes.
And I thought I would incorporate that. So you can see it in certain areas. You have to really put it on thick.
It's beautiful.
Thank you. So that's the story behind that one.
Wow. Wow. And I have to speak about Vapor because it's on the cover of the magazine.
Yes, Vapor.
Wow. And I have to, well, I'm going to give you the news on camera. It has been the cover, the most seen cover of these past 9 years of ArtTour International Magazine.
Oh my gosh, wow, that's great.
Yeah.
That is great news. That's
Yes.
exciting. That's very
So I have to send you the
exciting.
statistics so you see it. It's like, wow.
Wow.
So
that's great.
it's a very special image, that one, and captures everyone's attention.
Yeah, you know, when I did that particular painting, it's funny because I used my daughter a lot. She's right there, you know, so I have a model. I have a dog that's wonderful to paint, you know, a borzoi, and they're shaped like a fashion illustration. They have the deep chest and the angles. So, you know, I was thinking about smoke before I did that painting, and smoke has a vaporizing sort of effect. And so, you know, I thought about smoke. I thought about putting my daughter and my dog together. And in her case, I made up that dress. That's just something I made up. I thought, well, could the dress sort of mimic vapor? So that's the thought behind it. And I hadn't used blue before in a painting.
It's amazing.
So I thought I'll use blue. So
it's
that's it.
beautiful.
Thank you.
The
Thank
color
you.
is amazing.
Yeah, I
It's
had
like
fun with that
an
one.
angelic
I had fun
energy
with it.
to it. It's
Yeah,
beautiful.
thank you. Well,
Beautiful.
I liked doing it. I enjoyed it. Some things you really have a lot of fun doing.
Yes, yes.
But that was also difficult. It was fun, but I kept looking at it. I thought, is this right?
Challenging. Uh-huh.
Yeah, and then at the end I added little things in the background. I thought it really needs something for the movement.
Yes, yes. But you
So-
have kept a lot from your fashion industry experience that you're bringing in. The combination of that with your imagination, your creativity, the result is amazing.
Thank you.
It
Well,
really
the
is.
fashion, I have, you know, I guess I have a real debt to pay for fashion because I learned a lot, you know,
Yes.
working for these stores and
Yeah.
and just looking at merchandise for years and
Yes.
years and the different qualities that different fabrics have.
Textures and everything.
Right, velvet as opposed to silk or
Mm.
linen or, you know, whatever
Wow.
is available.
Were you always with this passion for art since you were a child?
Yes, I started, my mom told me that I started crayoning the walls in my bedroom when I was 2. And I do
Oh.
remember being punished for that because they'd paint the room and then I would start using it as
Oh,
a
really?
canvas.
Okay.
So, yeah, really, I think I've always been interested in art. And as far as fashion goes, I remember wanting to wear things to school and arguing with my mom because she said that's not appropriate. You know, some fancy dress that my aunt might have given
Yes.
me, you know, for Christmas. And so I've always had that interest. And I have an aunt that was very fashionable. And she and my cousins always watched her all the time and would go into her closet. She had incredible things. And so she was a big influence on me and others in my family. So we're all kind of girly girls that like that stuff.
That's beautiful. Well, in New York City has that, well, you can separate fashion in New York, you know.
Right, right.
So that experience, I can imagine.
Oh, yeah. I know when I first came to New York, just watching the fashion on the street and the individuality that people have, you know, that's stimulating.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really art, walking art
Yes.
all the time.
Everywhere.
It's
Yeah.
great.
It
So
is inspiring.
it's terribly inspiring, and there's so much to do here.
Yeah.
But even if you didn't go to any of the museums or any of the other incredible artistic places and cultural places, just looking on the street, you get a
Yes.
lot.
It's true. It
You
is
know?
true. Yes. Well, I'm going to ask you, what is the message that you want to convey to your viewers? We are in a time, I always say it's very challenging for the artists because some artists are compelled to express their discontent or sadness or whatever because of
Right.
the state of political situations
Sure.
and whatever else.
Right.
I always find always refreshing your work.
Thank you.
I love the fact that you focus on the beautiful and the, I don't know, it's this essence of beauty. Like, is this what you're trying to, share with us?
I think so. When I do something, I want to create something that will take somebody out of their present state.
Yes.
You know, I mean, and that's assuming their present state isn't fantastic. It might be fine.
Yeah.
You know, but if it is almost any state, if you're not feeling great or if you're feeling okay, to do something that gives you a fantasy to make you feel better. And that's really what I'm trying to do.
Wow.
When I do animals with people, I do think that, there's a bond that people have with animals that's very unique.
Yes.
And so, I do like to combine that, the fashion and, a portrait subject and their pets, because I think there's just a synergy there that's very special.
Between the master and the animal is such a big deal that becomes we become, because I have pets too, like one.
Yes, absolutely.
It's like one,
and it's pure.
My pet is like an extension of my soul, and vice versa.
Yes,
we have in common.
Yes, and it's a communication that you're not speaking with them. It's not through words, but it's really such a pure communication. I think in some respects it's on a higher plane, maybe.
Is there any challenge when painting pets, painting dogs, cats?
Not really. I really hadn't done pets until just maybe a couple years ago. So I thought, am I going to be able to do these? But, frankly, with drawing, if you like to draw, you can really, it doesn't really matter what you're drawing.
Yes,
anything is interesting. And I haven't done landscapes. That's something at some point I would like to do that. I haven't done abstract art, and I really admire people who can do that, like you, Yes. So maybe someday I'll learn how to do that.
Well, this is amazing. So
thank you.
Yeah, and we have, you have a big following here in the city. I enjoy. For some reason, I have noticed that the younger girls are always gravitating towards you.
Maybe, they see it and it makes them feel...
Yes, and where's Barbara? It's quite
the
something.
Fashion thing.
There's a connection there. Yes.
Right.
I think it's a fashion thing. But it's beautiful.
It's
beautiful being able to connect like that, because they find something beautiful in your work and kind of want to reach out to you.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate what you've done for me and for my work. I think that's pretty amazing, and that's a beautiful thing right there.
Thanks.
So,
So, are you preparing for this solo show? We're gonna have you here for a solo exhibition.
Yes, I'm so excited.
It's gonna be incredible.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yes.
I really am.
Yes.
And of course, I'm thinking, what will I wear? That's like my first thought. Probably should be something else, but I'm excited about that, and just meeting people for an extended period of time.
Yes, exactly.
And talking to them, because you get a lot of energy from everyone you speak to.
True.
So I'm excited about that, and I've been thinking about what to show, and I also have a lot of drawings that are
Yes.
fashion-based. Some of
And
those could be
love
shown.
to show those. Yes, absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
yeah, I'm excited. Very.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Making
My
it all the way
pleasure.
here, and I'm enjoying showing your works. Just a peek, just is a peek of what's coming up, because it's gonna be exciting.
Well,
It's gonna
this
be
is
exciting.
beautiful new gallery, so I couldn't be more thrilled to have my work
Thanks.
here and with ArtTour International.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank
Thanks so much.
you.
We'll see you next time.
Yes,
We'll
absolutely.
see you next time, and we'll invite everyone for the exhibition. And I'm posting right now the days of the exhibition. And if you want information, email us or visit the artist's website, which is also on the screen right now. So you see more of Barbara Tyler Ahlfield's artworks. They're amazing. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget, stay inspired.